Well, off topic,
yes.
or slightly adjacent to it. Did you ever read the comic book that was the prequel to right before the 2009 JJ movie?
Was it called Countdown?
I don't remember what it was called, but it had Picard and Data was the captain of the Enterprise.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, how do you like that as a follow-up for Data?
What was it? They kind of like brought him out of B4 or something.
Yeah. Which was the obvious answer.
Yeah. I was fine with that. If you weren't going to do any live action, now, of course, we've had the benefit of another 13 years here. If you weren't going to do another live action, I'd say bring Data back, make him the captain of the Enterprise, and let DC or Marvel or IDW, whoever has the license now, let them run with it.
Now, see, I like the idea that Picard became an admiral and he was kind of spearheading that operation. I mean, I don't like the idea that clearly he failed at it, but I didn't want Data as the captain because, again, that's a job for Riker.
Well, Riker had the Titan, though.
I know, but I don't care. He says, again, in Generations, he specifically says he's always wanted a shot at the chair. The Enterprise belongs to Riker. I'm sorry. If anyone's supposed to get that, just like Sulu's daughter getting the Enterprise, that's weird to me. But Riker deserves that chair as far as I'm concerned. I was very upset that Riker never ever gets to be captain of the Enterprise in any continuity.
Okay,
I mean, even in the JJ version, Spock gets to be frickin' captain of the Enterprise, but Riker never gets a shot.
Oh, Spock did in the regular Prime universe as well.
Yeah, but Riker never gets it. Riker never gets to be captain.
Okay, so I can actually tackle this topic with some feeling of authority.
Uh-huh.
Riker had the captain's chair pulled out for him innumerable times to the point where people started telling him, hey, if you don't take one of these promotions, they're not going to give you anything. And he passed it over again and again. And finally, there went it all. You know, he eventually got the Titan, but he had to wait till he was 115 years old, you know.
Right. But I ain't talking about that. I want him to be captain of the Enterprise specifically. I felt he was destined for it. Again, probably because he's just, Kirk 2.0, but whatever. Yeah.
Well, he did. Best of both worlds. He was captain of the Enterprise.
When?
When Picard was quote-unquote dead.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he was captain of the Enterprise. Well, remember he made Shelby first officer?
Oh, I meant like real captain, not like...
Well...
Like continuity not temporary substitute teacher captain. I mean, like, I want him to be, like, having a good extended run.
Well, then all he had to do was blow up the Borg ship, and Picard would have been dead, and he would have been captain.
Right. Well, I didn't want him to get it like that, but
seems like he lacked a little drive to me, doesn't it?
I suppose so.
And he could have just shot Picard when he was there in the Borg tank when they got him back aboard. Yep, he wasn't going to work, and he might have rounded us out. So I'm captain now.
Well, again, it's the Gene Roddenberry world, no conflict. So that's not the Riker way.
Well, okay, that might be fine. That's probably perfectly fair.
Because in Generations, he also had the chair too, very briefly. I'm not talking about temporary. I mean, I'm talking about I wanted him to, like, succession from Picard, like, fully, for real.
Yeah, well, I mean, but, in Best of Both Worlds, he was captain of the Enterprise. It wasn't like he was commander, but sat in the big chair.
Yeah, but it got taken away from him,
That never made sense to me. Is like, one of your main assets or officers is kidnapped, turned, and then used to kill thousands and thousands of your we'll say, sailors in this case. And then you get him back, and the next day you immediately give him his job back.
Well, yeah. It's Star Trek. Every admiral, every captain is always, like, half the time they're bad anyway. So I think that's just another, like, oh, this one turned good again. Wow, that's new.
Well, then if that was the case, they should have made him an admiral immediately,
Right.
And we have a term we use on here, and I don't know if it's I'm sure I heard it somewhere, but I don't remember where, but we refer to them as badmirals as often as they show up.
Oh, yeah.
And just do, like, terrible things. In Into Darkness, Admiral RoboCop was, it was doing the same sort of thing.
Yeah, that and the Prime Directive. It's like, anytime they introduce an admiral, it's so he can turn bad. That's their purpose.
Oh, yeah. And, that's like the episode of Next Generation where Picard was kidnapped by the Cardassians. And they put Jellicoe in charge of the Enterprise. And we're so used to commodores and admirals and other things that come on board the ship that we're waiting for them to be like evil. And the fact that Jellicoe comes on and is probably the most competent captain we've ever seen in a Star Trek TV show, we're all like, wait, hold on. How are we supposed to feel about this? Because like everything he did, as much as you wanted to resist it, he was right in everything he did. You know, and Riker was like a petulant child the whole time and still was like made to look like the hero, and he was just kind of an ass.
Hey, it's because it's Riker. That's why.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess he's as close to a Han Solo as you get in the Next Generation besides Okuda.
You know, that might be why I like him. Yeah, you might be right. It might be actually more of a Han Solo thing. Like I said, I've always just viewed him as Kirk 2.0, but I think it's also the Han Solo part. Might be, you might be onto something.
It's the jazz musician in him, you know?
Yeah.
It's all that kind of stuff.